So we're going to be talking about creating a differentiator. And here are certain pictures that I want to show you people. Can you see the first picture? What is the first picture that you see where I'm moving cursor? So if I ask you, the moment you talk about Apple as an organization, what comes to your mind? Yes, this is an Apple logo. But the moment you think of Apple, what comes to your mind? What kind of company Apple is? What is the differentiator that Apple has been able to build? What is, yeah, cool, quality, technological advancement, state-of-the-art technology.
Security.
Security, yes, data security, iPhone, iPad, innovation, costly, correct. What all? Supreme leader, brand, iPad. You know, ladies and gentlemen, Apple stands for latest technology, something which the customer even does not know that he wanted. You'll be surprised to know when Steve Jobs was once interviewed, Steve Jobs said that he does not have a market research team in his company. Apple does not believe in market research. And why did Mr. Steve Jobs say that Apple does not believe in market research? Because he says, when you do market research, you will only know what the customer wants. But we are in process of making something for the customer that even he does not know that he wants it. यार कस्टमर को भी नहीं पता होता है कि उसे क्या चाहिए. हम तो कस्टमर की सोच के आगे की चीज कस्टमर के लिए बनाने की बात करते हैं. देखिए, स्टेटस इज अ बाय प्रोडक्ट, लेकिन Apple as a brand is known for supremely advanced technologically developed products which are very, very customer friendly, and that is the differentiation that Apple builds. See, if I ask you, is Samsung a poor brand? Come on, tell me, is Samsung a poor brand?
No.
Okay, is Dell a poor brand? Dell?
No.
But you know, none of them is a poor brand at all. But if you look at it, the kind of brand equity that Apple has built, it is unparalleled. It is just because of the fact that, you know, the teachers who must be, you know, the people who must be teaching marketing would understand that the kind of positioning that Apple enjoys is beyond, you know, anyone. And that is the differentiator that I'm looking at. You know, once you have built a brand equity as good as Apple, probably it will be very difficult for any other brand to come and acquire that space. So if you look at the other brand, you know, on which I'm now moving the cursor, can you tell me what this brand is? This brand, which is in golden color, what this brand is? Anybody? Oh yes, fantastic. Dr. Sonal Sisodia, you got it right. The brand is Louis Vuitton. No, this is not Hyundai. This is Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton is a French multinational into luxury items. I mean, I have heard that every lady would aspire to hold a Louis Vuitton bag, you know, sometimes in a life. Now, typically, when you hear the word Louis Vuitton, what comes to your mind? What is the brand image that Louis Vuitton enjoys? It is a fashion statement. It is a fashion statement for super rich. It is pure leather items, and it is top of the top class accessories like handbags, wallets, belts, footwear, and this is latest in fashion. Now, what I want you to understand is, see, there are a lot of brands. There is Gucci, there is Armani, there is Prada, but Louis Vuitton enjoys. It is a 167-year-old brand. Will you believe that? Now, it has taken some bit of time to build this kind of a differentiator. A decent Louis Vuitton bag would cost you somewhere around 1.5 to 2 lakhs. Yes, not only luxury, fashion, luxury, quality, everything is what Louis Vuitton is synonymous with. How do you think these people have built these brands? What about this brand? Have you heard of this brand on which I have my cursor now? Anybody knows about this brand? Yes, you're right. Louis Vuitton is a status symbol, ma'am. Oh, yes. So, Madam Sonal, you seem to be absolutely brand conscious lady. You got it right. That's Montblanc. Now, Montblanc or Mont Blanc, as a lot of people pronounce it, Montblanc is a world famous Italian brand. People say it's also they moved to France. A lot of its manufacturing currently happens in France. It was a brand that started with super quality writing instruments. Now just imagine, what do we write with? यार हम जिस चीज के साथ लिखते हैं ना, हम उसे पेन बोलते हैं. Moblin ये नहीं बोलता. Moblin बोलता है they are the manufacturers of fine quality of writing equipment or writing instruments. A pen which can cost you somewhere between 25, 30, 35,000 rupees to around 2.5 lakh rupees. Now, not only Moblin builds, manufactures pens. They also manufacture leather wallets. They also manufacture handbags, diaries, ink, and a lot of it. Similarly, somebody has, Dr. NC Ganesh has moved on and he said the next brand is Ferrari. You know what? Ferrari is again an Italian brand into automobile. It is one of the most cherished possessions of any automobile lover. If you for a common man like maybe us, dreaming of a Mercedes Benz and achieving that dream is like a dream come true. But people who arrive in their lives, they dream of something like a Ferrari. The last brand, if I ask you, what is the last brand and what is Tata? What does Tata stand for? If somebody asks you, you've gone to attend a conference somewhere else and somebody tells you what as a brand Tata is known for. Yes, trust. Tata is known for social justice. Tata is known for nurturing the country. So Tata is known for patriotism. Tata is known for bringing about equitable economic development. If you go to Tata Steel, Tata Steel Sports Complex at Jamshedpur, you will see how much has Tata done for the society. So, Tata is just not about business. Tata's differentiator is way more ethics, values. Yes, you're right. So what I'm trying to understand is, see, if you know this, that these all brands, they have built their own differentiator. Now, if I ask you, if we go to the next slide, now you got to tell me, let's go one by one. Again, I'm taking you to the man top left. Do you know on the top left, who's the man? Whose picture is this? Fantastic. That is Munshi Premchand. So what was Munshi Premchand known for? Munshi Premchand was known for उनकी कहानियां, उनके निबंध, और मुंशी प्रेमचंद की कहानियों की सबसे बड़ी खासियत ये थी, मुंशी प्रेमचंद की कहानियां ग्रैंड नहीं होती थी. मुंशी प्रेमचंद की कहानियों में आप गरीबी का दर्द या गरीबी की जो करुणा है, वो करुणा का भाव महसूस कर सकते थे. आज भी अगर आपको याद होगा, जो मेरी तरह हिंदी मीडियम के पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, पीपल हु हैव गॉन टू हिंदी स्कूल्स में मुंशी प्रेमचंद की कहानियां पढ़ाई जाती थी. ईदगाह, गोदान, गबन. अगर आपने ईदगाह वाली कहानी पढ़ी होगी तो आज भी आपकी आंखों के सामने हमीद और उसकी दादी का चेहरा आ जाएगा कि हमीद को उसकी दादी ने पैसे दिए थे मेले में कुछ खाने के लिए और वो जाके चिमटा ले आया. बिल्कुल प्रज्ञा मैडम, यू सेड इट राइट, चिमटा. आप सोच के देखिएगा, ये मुंशी प्रेमचंद जी की नहीं सर, somebody is wrong, this is second one is not Jamshedji Tata. Mr. NC Nagesh ji, don't jump the queue. We'll come back to you. We'll give you chance. So Munshi Premchand was a man who created differentiator out of his poverty. He created amazing literature. देखिए, कई सारे लोग इस परिस्थिति से शायद टूट जाते, लेकिन मुंशी प्रेमचंद टूटे नहीं. मुंशी प्रेमचंद ने he converted his poverty into his weapon. Second name is Mirza Ghalib. Yes, Mirza Ghalib is the right answer. It's not Sant Kabir. So what do you think is Mirza Ghalib known for? What is unique or what is the differentiator that Mirza Ghalib created? Do you know that? आपको पता है? नहीं सर, शायर तो बहुत सारे हुए हैं. मिर्जा गालिब साहब की खासियत अलग थी. देखिए, मिर्जा गालिब साहब पहले ऐसे शायर थे जिन्होंने उर्दू में शायरी करना शुरू की. नहीं रुचि मैडम, he was not, Mirza Ghalib was not the only one who was soulful. There were a lot of people who were soulful. The best part of Mirza Ghalib was, you know what? Mirza Ghalib started writing in Urdu. Before Mirza Ghalib, people did not really, write in Urdu. The language was Persian. And why the language was Persian? Because ये सारे शायर लोग जो होते थे, किसी राजा या महाराजा के दरबार में पढ़ा करते थे अपने कलाम. तो फारसी पढ़े होना ये बहुत बड़े सम्मान की बात थी. इसलिए अगर उस जमाने में किसी आदमी को ऐसा ताना मारना हो क्या तुम बहुत ज्यादा पढ़े लिखे हो क्या, तो कई सारे लोग बोल दिया करते थे कि भाई फारसी पढ़े हो क्या, आई मीन इफ यू हैव स्टडीड पर्शियन देन यू आर अ स्कॉलर। इस तरह की बातें होती थी। इसलिए मिर्जा गालिब ने ये कहा कि शायरी को राजा महाराजाओं के, सुल्तानों के दरबार से हटकर आम लोगों के साथ सड़क पर चलना चाहिए। एंड दैट इज हाउ मिर्जा गालिब साहब कन्वर्टेड द लैंग्वेज ऑफ हिज राइटिंग फ्रॉम पर्शियन टू उर्दू। और उर्दू में हिंदी और फारसी के कई सारे शब्द आए, और उर्दू वाज मोर एक्सेप्टेबल, इट वाज मोर पैलेटेबल। एंड दैट इज हाउ, अगर आप मिर्जा गालिब साहब का एक बहुत फेमस शेर सुनेंगे, तो मिर्जा गालिब साहब की जो पूरी सीडीज हैं, जो मिर्जा गालिब नाम का एक टीवी सीरियल आया था, उसमें मिर्जा गालिब साहब की जो पहली गजल है, उसमें वो कहते हैं कि हर एक बात पे कहते हो तुम कि तू क्या है, हर एक बात पे कहते हो तुम कि तू क्या है, तुम ही कहो ये अंदाज़े गुफ्तगू क्या है, रगों में दौड़ते फिरने के हम नहीं कायल, जब आंख ही से न टपका तो फिर लहू क्या है। और उनका कहना है कि यार मैं पैसे के लिए शायरी नहीं करता। वो कहते हैं चिपक रही है बदन पर लहू से पैराहन, हमारी जेब को जरूरत रफू क्या है। साहब, दिस वाज मिर्जा गालिब।